In the last few years, my work focuses mainly on the increasing human cost of the crisis in Europe, and particularly in South European countries, which have been hit the hardest and longest by the financial crisis of the late 2000s. Ostensibly, the crisis provided an opportunity for an attack on social rights in many European countries, under the neoliberal dogma that only harsh austerity can lead to growth. We are witnessing a reconfiguration of whole areas of social protection in many European countries, and especially Southern Europe. That is a reform and significant cuts in pensions, in health expenditure, in social care, a significant restructuring and reconfiguration, or I would say a deregulation of labor relations, of labor conditions, of employment conditions, and so on. And this, to a large extent, is shaking the foundations of social Europe. Strikingly, all this is wrapped up in an untenable ideological justification that public spending is mainly the cause of the crisis, yet on the other hand, private interests and, for instance, banking interests have been saved by public money. So we see here an incoherence in terms of policy. And implement stimulus programs within the context of a wider redistribution in Europe. As long as Europe remains an economic and monetary union, without political union with strong transfer functions, then the future is rather bleak. We'll see heightening inequalities and polarization in social geographic terms. There is a conspicuous incoherence of policy in Europe. On the one hand, we have these very ambitious goals of Europe 2020 that strictly focus on the reduction of poverty, but on the other hand, the economic measures that are implemented, they point towards persistent austerity. And so this is it's a high incoherence that does not allow much optimism for the realizations of the EU 2020 goals. The conspicuous incoherence of policy is evident also at the global level. On the one hand, the post-MDGs debate opened up a forum for very ambitious goals, such as the global social contract, that is a global social floor, as a means for the alleviation of poverty, or even something more comprehensive and universal. But on the other hand, there is a worldwide propensity towards fiscal contraction that prioritizes fiscal balances over employment, drastic cuts in wage bills, and reduction or elimination of subsidies in developing countries, and also programs that are based on targeting, they are targeted to the poorest of the poor. So again, this does not augur well for such noble goals that are set within the context of the post-MDGs debate.